Hi there, I'm Dr. Lorna, the Helpful Vet, and today we're going to be talking about puppies. Yes. And we've got Arthur with us, who's 11 weeks old today. There are a lot of puppies around at the moment, and while it can be an exciting time, there's also a lot to think about. Today's not going to be a comprehensive guide of all things puppy, because we could be here for hours. So I just wanted to run through a few things to think about from a vet's perspective. Choosing your vet. So whether it's a routine appointment once or twice a year or more frequent visits, it's always good to be registered with a vet. You can do this by Googling the local vets in your area, or word of mouth is also a great way. If you don't have your own transport, then make sure it's somewhere that's easily accessible. One other important point is that for some of you, particularly in the bigger cities like London, your out-of-hours care may be provided at a different location. It's best to check where this is in advance so that in the case of an emergency, when you might be stressed and worried about your pet, you already know where you're going and it's one less thing to worry about. Vaccinations. Puppies generally need at least 2 vaccinations as part of their initial course. The timing of this will depend on the brand of the vaccines and how old your puppy was for their first vaccination. Puppies shouldn't be going out for a walk on a lead until they are fully protected. Speak to your vet about when this is. Parasites. So there's lots of different parasites that affect your puppy, from external parasites like fleas and ticks to internal parasites like intestinal worm and lungworm. There's lots of different products out there which vary in the frequency that you need to give them. So speak to your vet about which product is best to give. One thing to mention is that a lot of the over-the-counter products won't protect your puppy against lungworm. This is separate from your intestinal worms and can cause respiratory signs, but more seriously can interfere with the blood's ability to clot. So it's really important that you check with your vet that your puppy is covered for this. So if you've had your puppy for a while now, you've probably come to realise that they like to eat and chew everything. It's really good to familiarise yourself with things that are commonly poisonous to dogs, particularly if you've never had a dog before. Things like chocolate, grapes and raisins, onions and garlic, rat bait, snail bait, and ibuprofen. They also like eating stupid things like toys, socks, underwear, and even stealing things from bins. Sometimes these things can lead to blockages and then they may need emergency surgery. If you think your pet has eaten something poisonous or something it shouldn't have, then call your vet straight away. Most of the time we can give them an injection to make them vomit, but that needs to really be within 2 to 3 hours. Don't wait until you start seeing signs of a problem. I hate to be a killjoy, but throwing sticks is a real no-no. As vets, we see a lot of injuries from sticks getting stuck in the throat, and these can range from small wounds to life-threatening problems. So just don't do it, it's really not worth it. I'm going to do a separate video specifically about insurance, but this is just to say if you are thinking about getting insurance for your puppy, then just get on and do it, because A, puppies like to injure themselves or eat things that they shouldn't, and B, if we mention any problems in the clinical notes, they will then potentially become a pre-existing condition and won't be covered going forwards. The first few months of your puppy's life are what's known as the socialization period, and it's really important in this time to get them used to lots of different people, sounds and situations. It's worth investing your time in training at this stage, as it's much easier to get things right from the beginning than to change problem behaviour at a later date. So it's really good to get them used to being handled from an early age. This means that if you've got a problem later on and you need to give medication or groom them, they're already used to being handled and it should be much less stressful for you. So things like looking in their ears, looking at their eyes, so if you're going to give medication, looking at the teeth, opening the mouth. Good boy, well done. Things like picking up the scruff. So if we were going to give an injection, we would pick up the skin like that. Some dogs can get quite reactive to that. Looking under the tail for things like temperature or anal glands. And also things like touching their toes. Some dogs absolutely hate this. So if you can get them used to it from an early age, it's going to make things like cleaning their feet after walks in the mud and also clipping nails much easier. So thank you for watching the video. If you've got any questions, then pop it in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you!